Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about why Power Ranger fans consider the Boom comics to be canon of that of the live action television series. So, one thing I've always found very peculiar is when Power Ranger fans, for whatever bizarre reason, consider what's going on in the comics to be canon of that of the show. It's odd because no other fandom has ever considered the comics and the live action series or the movies or like an animated series to be canon. And when it comes to the Power Rangers fandom, they are divided. It's really sad, but every fandom is divided right now. Star Trek, Star Wars, DC movies, Marvel movies, you name it. Everybody is divided right now because everything's not what people are wanting, and there are some people who get aggravated when they can't have what they want. And in the Power Rangers fandom, for the most part, for the longest time, everybody was one. Everybody was on the same thinking page and everything. There are some people who disconnected from Power Rangers and stopped watching it, but those who continue to watch it always, for the most part, were like in like a cohesive like unit, you know what I'm saying? Until the Neon Saban era came around. And once the whole Neon Saban, Nickelodeon, and then later Hasbro Netflix era came around, this is when the fandom started to see cracks and they started to divide from one another. You have people who are like, they love the Fox Kids and Disney era, but they just simply hate everything that came with the Neo Saban Hasbro era. Then you have some people who just loves everything Power Rangers. Like no matter what they produce, they love every single last thing and they don't want you to crap on it. Then you have people who only they like the Sentai stuff and they like the Power Rangers stuff. And they wish the show would be more like Sentai. Then you got people who love the Sentai and absolutely hate Power Rangers and crap on it, but they only watch it because the Sentai suits and Zords and monsters are used. And it's quite the division and everything. You got some people who love the humor. You got other people who hate the humor. You got some people who love the MMPR stuff throwbacks, and you got other people say, yo, get away from it and never go back to it again. And it's so divided, and especially on Twitter now, it's like nobody is even allowed to have an opinion about Power Rangers without getting attacked by somebody. Like there's this one person who's all like, the Sentai is so much better and Power Rangers suck. Well, then, fool, why are you watching it then? And then you got one person who loves the Sentai is all like, it's racist to celebrate Black History Month with the Black Power Ranger. Fool, you are racist just by saying that statement. And then you got people now who are toxic people who's all like, ugh, Power Rangers is so woke now. There's so many females. There's a lesbian on the show. And now we're about to have a female Red Ranger. One, Power Rangers has always had diversity. There are multiple races in Power Rangers. Two, we have had female leaders before, just not as much. And there have been a few occasion female Red Rangers. The only thing that's different now is that we have an actual LGBT person in the show. And they're whining and complaining about that. Talking about, more woke garbage my child will not watch. Whatever, man, who's micro-sized down there. Like, nobody wants you in the fandom anyway. So needless to say, the fandom is divided. But back to the point of this video, why in the world do people consider what's going on in the comics to be that of canon in the show? And it's a head scratcher for one. Now, I personally have never read the comics. I have really no true idea what's going on, but I have heard some things. And what I have heard is that the comics are actually really, really, really good and stuff. And most people wish the comics would be adapted to live action, which there are parts of it that have been brought in and stuff. But why? Why do people consider it to be 100% canon when don't make no sense? I mean, yeah, the comics were based off of this show, but they went in so many different directions, it's not even its own thing no more. And the comics is now truly its own unique property and stuff. But I do find it odd because, like, they explain what happened to Trini, Zach, and Jason when they left Angel Grove. It turns out that whole peace thing was just a ruse by Zordon, and they went on to be, I think, the Solar Rangers or Omega Rangers or something like that. And that's really interesting stuff. And yet, the live action show has never referenced that. Maybe because it was a special mission, top secret, who knows? But it's because, duh, they're not the same thing. They're completely two different entities. And, but then here is the problem. The show decided to bring in JJ, the child of Kat and Tommy. And, or at least make references to him and everything. He still has not appeared in live action. He's only been, I think he pops like the back of him or something like that. Or no, I think Tommy went into the house and then said JJ or something like that. And then Kat brought him up. So we do know he exists in Power Rangers canon lore, just not 100% canon of both properties and stuff. Also, what is that Dark Ranger or whatever his name is? The dude who's supposed to appear in Cosmic Fury, the Jackal character. He has had an interesting story arc within that of like the comics. And people are wondering, are they going to adapt that here for the live action? Because apparently his helmet is the same one from the comics, which is supposed to be different from that of the show. I have no idea. Cosmic Fury has not came out yet. Then, of course, I still don't understand why people think it's canon because you got the whole Ninja Turtle situation. We saw what the Ninja Turtles look like within live action canon form of Power Rangers, and they are completely different from that of the comics, and they actually become Power Rangers and stuff. My theory as to why Power Ranger fans believe that the comics is canon to that of like the live action, because they even had they didn't have a Lord Draken in the show, but they called him something different that was similar to that character in the comics. And I think the reason why they want to consider it canon is because deep down inside they know the Neon Saban and Hasbro era is not that good in everything. Like, it's really not that good. The Neon Saban era was basically a colossal failure with the exception of like, what was it called? Is it Dino Charge and everything? And Dino Charge has really been that only season that most fans can agree was the best of the Neon Saban era. But Samurai was not very good. Megaforce, although I like Super Megaforce, I like the ability to transform into any Ranger, it had its hit and misses because Saban was trying too hard to piggyback off of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Then you got Ninja Steel, which a big failure and everything. And then you had that hybrid season of Beast Morphers, which was okay. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It wasn't perfect, but it was a nice step in a new direction. Then you have Dino Fury, which completely divided the fandom. You have some who love Dino Fury. You have others like myself who does not like Dino Fury and everything. And so Dino Fury is the real, true, 100% definitive Hasbro era. They shared one with the Neo Saban with Beast Morphers, but so far Hasbro ain't been cooking up nothing very special. And now you have Cosmic Fury coming out, which has the fandom very worried and everything because they're wondering in those 10 episodes what the heck is gonna happen. There's been so much speculation and it's soon about to come to fruition. So what's it gonna be like? And so I believe, honest to God, the people who keep saying that comics are canon is because if the comics truly are really good, then that eases their mind of like what's been going on in live action not being so stellar. Like, one of the problems I have with the Neo Saban era and the Hasbro era is all this cringy baby humor. It's way worse than what it ever was in the Fox Kids era. The writing is not so consistent. The acting is, always the way it is, but sometimes it's a little bit worse. Some of the live action fights aren't as cool as it was in the Disney era and stuff. And so and then of course you have what's going on in the toy line that pisses a lot of people off. So when the stuff that's going on in the toy line, they automatically take out that frustration on what's going on in live action, even though the two are completely different. And so when you have people saying, "Oh, comics are canon because they're better," it's because they know what's been in live action has been crap and everything. And it's really sad that fans have to do that. And I do wonder, those people that keep saying, "Oh, the Hasbro and Neo Saban and Netflix era is so great and amazing." I wonder if that's just them putting on a show, and why they keep saying, "Oh, the comics are like, really, really good," because they know the comics are probably better than what's been in live action. But they say that because they don't want to say nothing negative about the brand, because you say something negative about it, other people piggyback off it. And then, of course, the companies say that, like, "Oh, you don't like us? You don't like what we're doing? Well, fine, we'll cancel it and everything. Then you won't have Power Rangers." And that's how a lot of companies are and everything. Another thing I always found really weird is that role-playing game. I forget what it's called, but it was like a role-playing game, and people consider that canon. How? Why? It's a role-playing game, people. It's not a live-action show. And since when has like Dungeons and Dragons, the actual board game, been canon to those last two movies that came out? It's not. It's just literally people who like the other stuff more than what they're seeing in live action. Literally, what's been going on in live action in the past decade has not been good. It's been very dismal. Storylines are very weak. Character development is somewhat good, somewhat bleak at times. Sometimes the CGI looks a little video game-ish at times. The humor is really getting on my nerves and everything. Like, it's just getting on my nerves. And then I don't like the Cosmic Fury suits whatsoever. Like, if they were gonna go with American-made suits, they've done better in the past. If this is supposed to be the grand finale, my God, what are you doing? Those suits look atrocious. Even in live action, they still look atrocious and everything. And why is Cosmic Fury piggybacking off of the Dino theme? It's little things like that. And then I feel bad for the whole Hunter Demo. What's her last name? The Hunter girl, who plays Amelia. I feel bad for her because she's getting hate from two different sides. She's getting hate from the toxic people's all like, "We don't want a female Red Ranger," and then she's getting some discord from the people's all like, "Well, why you gotta replace the black dude for it?" Because this is a valid criticism. Black guys who play Red Rangers always get demoted in the next season or the next series or whatever. And it's very frustrating. And so it's a win-loss situation for her. It's a win because she gets to be a permanent female Red Ranger. But it's a loss because, it came as such a bad loss of another black actor playing a Red Ranger, which is why Cosmic Fury should have had a completely different cast and everything. Then nobody would be all like, "Oh, they demoted the black dude," because there would be none of that. It would be a completely different cast. And I feel bad for her because she has let some of her frustration out online. Not only is she mad she can't promote Power Rangers, because she's been working on it so hard and everything, because of the whole actors strike, she can't promote it, and she literally vented her frustration about that. But she's also upset because people are hating on her, all because she's female and she's gonna be a Red Ranger, or she is white and she took over the role of a black dude and everything. And I feel really terrible for her. And not only that, but the girl who plays Izzy, she's getting hate online from toxic people talking about, "Oh, it's a lesbian character," and everything. And it's all like, so what? Y'all like David Yost and he's gay in real life. There are other gay actors who have played Power Rangers. The dude who played Eric in Time Force, the Quantum Ranger. He's gay in real life, and y'all love him to death. So why is it you're okay with somebody who is gay in real life, but when there's a person who's actually straight and they're playing a gay character on the show, y'all hate on that for some bizarre reason? Like, I don't understand that, you know? But yeah, this was just mostly just about like the comic book stuff and why I don't understand why people consider it canon when it's completely 100% different. Like, it's in its own universe. And if they ever decide to multiverse it and go into the comics, then it will be canon or whatever. But it won't be canon to the prime universe of what the Power Rangers is. Similar to this whole Netflix thing. Netflix is going to be setting its own dimension thing away from, I just call it Saban Power Rangers, because even though there's been Rangers in other dimensions like RPM, it still is Saban Power Rangers, even though Disney had it. The man created it. So I look at it as Saban Power Rangers, and then now Netflix Hasbro Power Rangers and stuff. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.